thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. Today I am going to be giving you a flip through of the Pokemon colouring book, and I am also then going to be colouring a page. So this is the Pokemon colouring book. I think this one only recently come out. I got it from WH Smith's, but I know some people like to see all the codes and stuff. Yeah, it does say 2023 Pokemon on it. Although then again, it also includes up to 2023, so who knows. But it does include 2023, so that should mean that it's been published this year. And yeah, I got it from WH Smith's, just saw it there one day and was like, I saw a Pokemon colouring book before, and I don't know, it was very, very, very wallpapery, I think I remember. And so I didn't get that one. But this one, I'm not HarperCollins Publishers. First published in Great Britain 2023 by Farshaw, an imprint of HarperCollins Publishing. Alright, so yep, not sure who has illustrated these. I'm not sure, or if they might have just taken them from existing. I don't know. I really can't find anything there anyway. So as you can see, you may still think, that's wallpapery, but I can find myself easily painting over these backgrounds, some of them, like this one, I might keep the Pokeballs. Like some of them can be a standard Pokeball, Ultra Ball, or whatever you want, you know, just, and then Pikachu's. And in this one, as you can see, like you've got the starter Pokemon, and then you've got the middle evolution of them, and then you've got the final evolution. Don't they look cool? I do love these pages, because that's where like your Pokemon journey begins, isn't it? Especially if you were playing like the games on the Game Boy. It seems so long ago since it was a Game Boy, right? Yeah, I still have mine. I don't have any games for it anymore, but I still have mine, my yellow Game Boy. And then here you have them all together for each evolution. So they do showcase Squirtle, Charmander and Bulbasaur and the evolution quite a lot in the beginning of this book, which I like. Some people might find it a bit repetitive to have the same Pokemon on so many pages, but I think if you were there like at the beginning of the Pokemon sort of journey, then you're going to love having those Pokemon pages there. And then it's like, and at the beginning there was only Pikachu and then Raichu, and then little Pichu came along. I don't know when they appeared, but it was like, yeah. And then obviously evolution. You couldn't really have a Pokemon book without Eevee and the gang, could you? Next, Cubone and Gyarados. This is probably my favourite next to each other, if you understand. Like, colouring wise, I'm looking forward to colouring Gyarados, which is probably going to be the page I colour today, unless I change my mind very, very quickly. And it'll probably be this with acrylic paint in the background, and then Cubone's just, what's the story behind Cubone? Was it, I can't remember if it was real or if I'm just imagining this, that it was like a Charmander that had to wear its mum's skull and like it died when it was a baby. I'm not sure, but like it's a flameless Charmander. But I don't know if that was some sort of fan theory or I have no idea. To be fair, it's been a while since I've watched any Pokemon. I still collect the cards from time to time, which you will probably see later because I'm going to pull out my Gyarados cards and sort of try and use the colours that appear in those. So that's basically everyone you've just seen. Oh no, it's got like Meowth and Psyduck and that in it. So not everybody, that's just been in that first section. And then we're moving on to like next stage with, is it Chikorita, Totodile and Cyndaquil. Alright, some of these names. There's so many of them now as well. It's like, oh, please help. But yeah, Togepi, Misty's Togepi. But it's like in different countries the characters were called different things. So, and I'm guessing maybe Pokemon have different names as well. I don't know how it works. Now, oh, I might have to take it back. This is probably my favourite double page side by side sort of situation because Lapras, other than Growlithe, is my favourite Pokemon. And Mew and Mewtwo. Mew more, but Mewtwo as well. That would be a fun page to colour as well, but not today. Can't do my favourites first, although I'm picking one, but you know. Now this guy, I can never remember what it's called, but he's there. Let's just move on. You see, this one's very repetitive, but they do, you could, I don't know, I don't think I'll colour that page anytime soon, but like if you wanted some bite-sized colouring, you could colour one at a time, I suppose. I'm forgetting what his name is as well. I'm not very good at this, am I? Ooh. Hi. So that's what it's saying. Everybody loves a slowpoke, right? There's a lot of these in the background. Like, oh my gosh, what are they called? Like the Mystic Ball. Oh my gosh, they've got a... That isn't the proper name, is it? Everybody just thinking, what is wrong with her brain today? Well, I've just got back from work, so that's probably why. They're ready to fight. See, I like this as well. It's like, I like it when it's sort of sectioned off a bit. They're a good... That's giving off the same vibes, isn't it? Ditto always made me laugh, and like when they turn into other Pokemon, but they have the same facial expression. Like the two dots for eyes and stuff. Ooh. Get the next one. Yeah, so I see myself having a lot of fun within this book, especially background painting it wise. I think would be very fun. See, these pages are fun as well, but some of them are very tiny, which could become a problem. Like little Eevee, And then like Lapras is huge. Is Lapras actually that big? Is this done off of like actual sizes of the Pokemon? Is Lapras actually bigger than a Snorlax? Can't be right. Although when you're watching the show, they do ride on a Lapras. So I guess Lapras is quite big. Jigglypuff. Always causing trouble, the poor thing. Not sure who this is either. It doesn't even look familiar. Like all the other ones that I've said I can't name, I've sort of recognised them at the very least, but I don't recognise this one. It'd be good if they don't have... No, it would have been good if like they had a list of each one. I know most people that are buying the books will probably know 100% of them anyway, but it's like when people buy colouring books with flowers in. I like the ones where there's either a reference next to like the illustration or there's like the name of the flower at the back of the book. I like it when they're there. Pikachu is having a lot of fun throughout this book, but it wouldn't be right for Pikachu not to be all over the place with it. Like, I think I said this when I was showing all my colouring book haul. Why didn't they put Magikarp next to the Gyarados? That's just a thing I don't understand in this book. But it's fine. Like, Cubone here would have probably fit better than being next to the Gyarados. Is that a Ho-Oh? Or am I imagining that as well? Ooh. See, that's very repetitive. I'd probably have to take that in bite-sized chunks as well. Litten? See, I don't know the name for this dude either, but at least I recognise it. It's like some of these I think were after I stopped watching, and when I stopped watching I also stopped buying the games, so all I've had is the cards, and for quite a while I stopped buying the cards as well. So there are Pokemon sort of series that I've like not seen, if that makes sense. Meow. I wonder if they'll bring a book out that has the trainers in it as well, and like Team Rocket, because that would be fun. Like you could put the Pokemon with their trainer, like during the show, like Brock had his Onix, Misty had a Togepi, and Ash had Pikachu. Like, but they obviously they had their other Pokemon as well, but like they had their main go-to Pokemon for things, didn't they? For like battles and stuff. And then they would come across like battles and those trainers would have their go-to Pokemon. One of Mew on his own or her own. I don't remember. Yeah, there's a bit of a mark on this one. It's okay, it'll just be coloured over with pencils anyway. See, I like this layout as well. And that's the last page. That's 80 pages in that book. Quite a lot to colour from. Crammed full of patterns, fun backgrounds, and over 60 Pokemon from across all 9 regions. This book is perfect for practicing your artistic skills. Don't forget your brightest yellow for Pikachu. A lot of yellow is going to be used in this book, isn't it? Which is quite good because I don't actually use my yellow, like my actual bright yellows, very often. Normally it's for like highlights if I've done like yellow lighting or something. So I am going to stop this here, but I'll be back to carry on. Oh look, that's that Pokemon that I didn't know what it was. I still don't know what it is, but at least I've got a little colour reference here. I could just go off of that, couldn't I? That's cool. So I will pause it a moment. Right, so here I have my case and it has all my Pokemon cards in. And so I'm just going to, right, I'm sorry, but Growlithe is my favourite. So I have quite a few Growlithes. I'm actually really quite lucky with like pulling Growlithe and Arcanine, I think. like the first ones that I got, and then years later that was a promo card, and I think that one's a promo card as well, but like obviously I bought those promo packs specifically for these cards. Like I need my Growliths. And then yeah, and I actually have Charizards, which I only actually got these two near the beginning of the year. Like I bought 2 packs on the same day and I got both of them, one in each pack, and then you go like packs without getting like anything. But I'm also going to explain that about Gyarados as well. Where is it? Here. I'm so lucky with Gyarados as well. It's like ridiculous. Like these two here, again, I tend to buy 2 packs at a time. These two, 1 pack each. Like, I didn't have a Gyarados before then, and since then I now have 2 more. They're all from like newer releases though, except for these 2 Magikarps are quite old. But yeah, and then this is also like my prized possession, my Lapras. Like I felt like after I got that card out of the pack, I was like, I don't need to buy that pack anymore, because that was the card I wanted. Like I don't care if there are more rarer cards or what they're worth. I have specific Pokemon that I like, and I'm happy getting any Pokemon. Like I collect them all. If I get swaps, then they can be like given away or traded or whatever. But yeah, my Laprases. Yeah, I'm not going to take you through the whole of this, but yeah, I have quite a lot. I'm going to need a new folder soon because I'm on to. I also collect Pikachus. Like I think everybody collects Pikachus, don't they? Or no? Yes. But yeah, some of them were promo Pikachus. One promo one I actually got traded to me. Like they had 2 of them. So, but yeah. And by the way, when I say trading, I mean with my niece. Like she's the only one that I have around me that collects Pokemon cards, but she doesn't get them very often because, well, she's a kid. She's 10 years old. But yeah, she traded me this one because she had one from the actual promo pack she got, but then her friend didn't want it and they wanted one of her cards like really badly, so she was like, I'll trade it. And then But when she trades with me, like, I end up giving her like 3 cards for 1 card because she doesn't have many people she can trade with either. And like, I have my own money to spend on the hobby, so just to sort of help her out a bit. But yeah, a lot of these Pikachus are quite old. Like, my niece tried to steal this one off me. She said it looked like Play-Doh. But there are other ones like that are, where are they? If I can find one. Trying to find, like these, like they're like drawn as they're crocheted. Let me take one out because I don't know if, like, don't know if that's picking up very well, but like the style is actually crocheted. Excuse my big poofy sleeves. I'm wearing my Udi and it is huge and fluffy and soft and warm and cozy, and yes, sorry, I only recently got it. I got it in the sale. Like, I didn't want to pay the original price even though I wanted one, and as soon as I saw them like pretty much go half price, I was like, getting one of those. Yeah, so what am I doing? Right, yeah, anything that I wish to show? Not really. Oh yeah, this one, is it Nidoking? No. Ah, it was the Machamp. I didn't realise that mine's like Spanish. Like, I got that as a kid. I think I won it off of like a battle or something. And yeah, I don't know where they got the Spanish card from because they weren't Spanish either. I don't even think they had been to Spain. Unless they had got it from somebody else and it sort of made its way to me somehow. I don't know. But yeah, my niece also gave me a Japanese card. But I don't know where that is. But I like seeing all the different languages. It's nice to see. So back to my Gyarados. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, but I just want to take these out. Obviously it's going to be a lot of blue, but on a lot of these cards, well, a lot of them are shiny. Well, they're all shiny actually, because so there's a lot of sort of silvers and blues, and then you've got the creamy yellow of the underbelly part. And yeah, I'm going to try and incorporate these colours into the background of the page, like the silvers and blues, but trying not to use the blue of the Gyarados because obviously I'm going to need that for him. I just find it he's always like got the same sort of facial expression, but I don't know, it's different. I just think it's cool, a cool design for a Pokemon. So I'm going to take those out and stop waffling on and get my paint and everything out. And I think I'm going to put the Frisket film over him. I've never used it in a colouring book yet. I only used it on that PDF page. But I figured trying it in a new book that I've not coloured anything in is better than ruining a page by accident in a book that I have many loved colourings. So hopefully it's not going to tear up my page, or if it does, only a little bit, because I can live with it tearing it very slightly because I can just go over it. And yeah, so be back in a mo again. Hello, I am back, but it is not the same day anymore. Yeah, I got hungry and then didn't want to come back to filming because I knew this would be a long sort of process, and I have two lights on, which isn't good. There we go. Hopefully that's better. And yes, so I have the Frisket film on here. Yeah, so I'm ready to paint. As you can see here, I have just made up a bunch of blue and green tones. They are all the I say PBO, but it might be Pebeo, Studio Acrylics, and yeah, I ordered them oh, like, gosh, about 3-4 months ago now, I think. But yeah, this one I thought it was just the colour. I didn't realise it was the shimmery one, but it's quite a happy accident because I kind of love the colour. So I am just sort of going to start off by sort of splotching the colours around, and then I will probably then go in with the metallic-y colours in places. I don't want this to be too sort of detailed. I just want it to sort of be a fun colour in the background. And as you can see, I've picked silvers and shiny blues that are sort of represented in these cards. Then I added the green colours because I thought this one's got a slight bit of green in the background. Yeah, I didn't want to go for this reddy brownish colour, but yeah, I just like the, you know, the holographic rainbows that you sort of get in the background. But yeah, this one is so silver, it's pretty much everywhere. And then I do like this one, it's like super fierce. But yeah, they're all blue, 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 silver, silver, silver. So that's why I've gone with blues and silvers. They do all have like that slight bit of brown in the background except for this. But I tried to pick out this sort of green is what I made sort of here. And I'm being very careful not to drop these cards in paint or anything. So I'm going to put these to one side out of the path of chaos because, yeah, I don't want anything happening to these, so I'll just keep them at the side as like reference for myself. And yeah, I do have a arm length gloves on because as the weather gets colder, my hands do get cold, but not like super cold. It's just yeah, I want to kind of keep them warm, especially because it's nighttime at the moment as well. There's hardly much sun about anyway these days, let's face it. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint. And as always, I've put the washi tape down the centre to help me not get paint onto the next page. I'm going to start with this colour. I quite like this blue. But at the same time, ooh, that goes on nice. I might have to do 2 coats with some of these colours because some of them are opaque and then some of them aren't. So I'm not going to be super careful at the moment, you know, because I'm probably going to have to put another coat down. Hopefully this Frisket film is going to be okay with having that acrylic paint on it. So just, as you can see, blue, blue, blue. Sort of blend them in. Like I said, I don't really know what I'm going for quite yet. That's the way I sort of always start. Oh, that mixed in with the blue is going to be nice. bit of this green. This is the same green that I've used for the previous colour, but the other one has white added to it. I basically took a blue, added white, took a blue, added white, took the green, added white. That blue's just on its own. And yeah, because I wanted, I didn't really want the sort of too much harsh deep tones. I wanted to be able to, I want a bit of the dark, which is why I've kept this blue, but I don't have a black, which I did that on purpose because I knew if I put a black on my palette I would use it everywhere. Ooh, that isn't what I wanted. But you can see when it goes onto the Frisket film, it's just creating this sort of smudge effect. A bit of that blue down here, mix it in there. It's very different to the other blues. This one isn't one of the opaque ones, so I may have to see, as soon as like another colour is added to it then becomes more opaque. But like I said, 2 coats is definitely gonna be the way to go. And just put a bit more of that in there to blend those 2 together. Ooh, I do love that colour. As soon as it goes to the page, I'm like, ooh. That'll do for that bit, because if you keep going over it, it's not gonna work. Get some of that light blue in. That bit. I do like that colour as well. Ooh. All these pretty colours. So far this paper seems to be okay with having paint put on it, which is good. I did put too much paint on that then. Let's just put some of that in there. Right, and then I'm going to get some of this dark blue again, put in. Again, this is just the base coat, so I want it smooth-ish, but if there are some parts that aren't so smooth, I believe I will be able to pretty much fix it. I'm going to put a bit of white in that. Ooh, it's creating like a grey colour. It's pretty. I do like blue greys. Some of that green in there to help blend it in to that bit. Just going to take a bit of that blue. Ooh, that's nice. I find doing it gently over, like where the brush isn't quite touching the page, sometimes helps with smoothing it out without creating heavy brush strokes. Like heavy is like that, and you get that, and then if you glide it over, you don't get that. If that makes sense? Probably not. I do want that bit quite dark there. See, I don't want too much of this bright blue on the page because I feel like it would be too similar to the Gyarados. But a little bit here and there, that's fine. A bit of that, because I haven't added that for a while. Yeah, because the translucent colours are used for like when you've already got sort of colours down and on your painting, and then they can sort of glaze over and give like a greenness to them, or a pink or whatever. That's what I find they're normally used for anyway. More that in. Or like me, you mix them with other colours and you end up getting I don't want to put too much paint over that area though, like I said, because it's peeling off the Frisket film. I'll have to peel it off, and I don't want it to bring up the paint along with it. Should be okay. I'm just going to sort of go around the areas again to give it my second coat, like in this same sort of order. I do love this sort of pastel-y colour I'm getting. I'm adding the white to everything. as you can see, it looks like I'm going for a sort of diagonal swoosh, which is fine by me, obviously, as I won't keep doing it. But it seems like that's what I want to do right now. I always start sort of just putting the paint on the page, and then I'm just like, ooh, I need to do that with it, you know. That lightest blue almost looks purple. So this one, and like when it's mixed with the other colours, it sort of has that bit of lilac-y-ness to it. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but my eyes are. I'm almost done to the wrong colour then. Would have been okay anyway, wouldn't it? I want a bit of line in there. So, like, I'm getting the smoothness, and then I'm going to add a bit of texture. Not too much texture. Like, after I've done this full layer around, I'll let it dry, and then I'm going to go in with those metallics and just randomly sort of add stuff in to give it a bit more going on. My direction changed a bit. That's the one that looks purple. I like it. I am worried about this not coming off the frisket foam. So I really hope it works. Again, probably should have tested on another PDF with acrylic paint. I used the gouache, but maybe using an actual acrylic paint would have been a better test. That's okay. One page isn't going to ruin the whole book. You know, there's like, what was it, 80 pages or something in this book? So yeah, I'll be fine. Add a bit of white. Although the white is one of the colours I'm going to add in a moment after it's dried. So should be fine. Put a bit of green in there because it's gonna come up like that. You wouldn't think, like, I know technically I'm using blues and greens, but like I said, that one's quite purple. You wouldn't think it would look right, but it's working. Put that in there. You notice I haven't really been adding water to my brush. I'm doing this like quite dry. For some reason it's working. Although earlier I did spritz my paint with water, just a little spritz, because I did my paints, and then again today I've gone and had food. So I did have food first, but I had already done my paint and I didn't want it drying up because it's acrylic. So once it's dry, you're not gonna reactivate that, are you? So yeah, went ahead and spritzed it with some water to keep it moist. Sorry for anybody that hates that word. I quite like the word moist. One reason because one of my brothers hates it. So it's sort of stuck in my vocabulary. Just to bring it up every now and again. Again. If this does go terribly wrong, at least I have a pretty painted background, you know. I'm not liking that blue there, it's too harsh. A bit of that. I think I do need some water on this brush now. Not too much, I'll dry it off after washing it. Yeah, that's better. That corner was struggling a little bit. So I'm going to leave that to dry. And then I'll come back and start adding some metallics and stuff. I've got to try and figure out how I'm going to do that. Because I've sort of gone in stripes. But I don't want to do little stripes of metallic in it. I feel like that would be boring. So this might not end up stripy, but it's just my base coat until I figure it will turn out how it turns out. I rarely plan what it's gonna look like. So I will pause this while this dries and think up the next part. Hello, I am back again. It's actually a couple of days later. Yeah. I really couldn't figure out what to do with the background, and after I left off a moment ago, I got into doing other things, and yeah, so I just thought I would let my brain refresh until I thought of what I wanted to do. And yeah, if you can see in this card, it's got sort of the swoosh effect around the outside. That's sort of what I'm going to do here. As you can see here, I have peeled some of the Frisket film off. Perfectly fine. Didn't affect my acrylic paint, which is fantastic relief in my opinion. And because I want part of the swoosh to be going over the tail and then the rest of it to look like it's going behind, if that makes sense. So I am just going to pause it. I'm going to put these Pokemon cards away because I feel like I no longer need them out. So just a moment. Right, so they are now back in the folder to the side of me, so I can still look at them, but now I don't feel terrified of dropping paint on them because at this point I don't really need to be looking at what he looks like. I can just go in with my paint and just go for it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do these. I did spritz my paint with water and then put cling film over it just to keep it moist, because obviously once acrylic paint dries you can no longer use it. Right, so what I think I'm going to do is first go in with dark colour swoosh and then add lighter colours to it, and then the final colour I'll add would be the white and the metallic. Right, so I just got to think as I'm going along. I do actually want to put a bit more like dark blue down, which is this one. Does it have a colour name on it? Am I just missing that? Oh, Payne's Grey. But Payne's Grey is like a, well, it's a blue grey. So and whatever paint I don't use on here, I will then find other pages that I can just add acrylic backgrounds to, because I hate it. I can never like put out on my palette the exact amount of paint that I'm going to use. I always put too much or too little, and then when I add too little I then add more, and then I've added too much again. So yeah, so I'm just going to put in where I want these swooshes. So it's not going to look neat for now. It might be easier to use a bigger brush to start with actually. Just get that brush that I was using before. So I just get out a few brushes at a time, like in different sizes. Sorry about that. So I just want it sort of coming from sort of there and then swooshing round, and then I'll have it coming up. The good thing about this Payne's Grey is I can add a thin layer and still see what's going on behind. You've still got that other colour coming through at the moment. Yeah. And my paper has curled a little bit because I had to leave it to dry, but then I haven't flattened it out yet. But I wait to flatten it out at the end, because like, what would be the point if I'm just adding more paint? But it hasn't done it too much, I think, as well, because the air's cold now, that's affected it. So I sort of want it ending like there, sort of situation. I think that'd be good. Obviously I will swoosh it. I don't want it to be a clean line. It's a wave, but I'm not doing it as a wave. See, that don't make sense either, does it? But having those colours in the background already will be a huge help for this, because it means I don't have to worry about the colour behind. That bit that I just went over at the top there, I didn't realise it was still wet and I touched it, so I got a fingerprint in it, but yeah, I thought, yeah, that doesn't matter. Because at this point I had slightly figured out what I wanted to do. I knew I'd be painting on top of parts of this anyway, so it was all good. Right, I do feel like I need to go into that corner actually. Right, so that's my basic swoosh. So I'm going to clean that brush off and then like get my next colour, which I think I want my main swoosh. Main swoosh, it sounds so funny, doesn't it? I'm going to go in with a bit of this because I need to make it a bit more opaque. Not opaque, yeah, opaque. I thought I was using the wrong word then. I might just do this as I go, like a bit of light in there. So now I'll let it dry and then add the final sort of details. I did really like this colour, so that's probably why I've picked it. But it's going to be a lot of white. This is just a colour I want to be able to see, like underneath. That's actually probably going to be the whitest part of this anyway. Sort of flicking it out because, like I said, I don't want it perfectly smooth. But I think I'll do that. I've got to add the metallic in it somewhere. I'm like, where am I adding that? Because I really do want to add that metallic colour. But but that is one thing that I do struggle with, adding metallics. Because I'm like, is that the right place for it? I know, it's kind of silly, isn't it? It can go wherever I want. But yeah, that's how my brain sort of... It's really difficult to do the swoosh this way. I'm just calling it a swoosh. I'll do for that. Oh dear. Alright. I'm going to go back to that smaller brush now and grab the white. Ooh, it's going to be scary. But because it is slightly wet still, like I haven't let it fully dry, I'm going to get a nice sort of blend at the moment. Just put some of that on there. Again, at the moment I'm being loose with it. I don't want to add too much yet. I've never done this before and I don't colour waves, so yeah, this may not turn out, but I'll just keep at it until it does turn out at least something like what I want. Even if I end up with like 10 layers of paint on here, that's fine by me. See, that's what I was going for when I meant swoosh. It's just hard to do that at the top because it's a different angle. But I will try. I'm going to have to put my finger on a place that's dry to keep my book still. Because obviously I'm going to turn my book upside down. Like I can't get the angle right. So I'm sorry about this, but now I'm going to have to move my water to the other side. Let me just pause a minute so you're not in all the fuff. Right, so that's as good as it's gonna get. So let me just put that back there. I'll have to put my paint on there. So hopefully that's okay. Oh yeah, I feel like I can actually do what I want now. Just giving a bit of a glare though, because obviously I have my light set to the angle that I normally film. My lighting's never perfect, I know that, but I have to do the best that I can do. Half of this will go behind him anyway, because he's got his head on that there. And I'll just do that bit, because I like that a lot better now. Now I kind of do feel like I need to let this fully dry before I can go in with my next layer of paint, else I'm just going to smush it all about again. So I will pause it here and I'll be back in a bit. Right, so I've grown a little bit impatient. I went and put my washing outside because it's actually a sunny day, and now I'm just back and I figure just go for it. So now I'm going to start going in with my white, and I have an even smaller paintbrush because I just, yeah, more control I think. It's going to take time, but I don't want it everywhere now. I want to start adding it only where I specifically want it to be. Whereas before I was just trying to put the colour down. So how is everybody? Last night I added an alcohol marker base to 3 different pages from 3 different books. I was like, I need to do something so I can just sit down and colour when I want to, because starting a page at the minute is like too tiring. It's like, what do I do? But if the colour's already there, then then it's easier for me to pick out the pencils I need, because like I've done a couple of pages where they're like pretty much all sort of one type of colour. Like I've done reds and pinks on a page from the Spooklet sketchbook. So for that I just need to pick out probably only 5 colours, and then I can just go ahead and colour it. I also put some marker base on a page from that Annie Day. I keep calling it Annie Day because Annie and day rhyme, and I like it. But I do think it's just supposed to be Annie. And what was the other page I did? Oh, it was a page from Colour in Heaven Annual 2019. Yeah, I just picked this simple page from there. What I was thinking for the metallic colour, I might do some lines in this background bit, like just a few lines, because I want to add it, but I know I've got loads of it on there. But like I said, for leftover paint, I just pick a page and add it to the background, and then that's like a background done, so it will make it easier for me again. So don't think that all this paint's just gonna be washed away, so I can't do that. It's like, what a waste. I do like it with these the white bits in now, because whenever I'm using paint, I'm always like, oh gosh, I've just ruined it, until I've actually got it to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that. I'm always like, no, this don't look good, this don't look good, I've ruined it. It's what just sits in my mind. But yeah, this is starting to get to a place where I'm like, yeah, I can like that. I can be happy with it looking like this. Again, you're still upside down, so I will be turning the book back around in a moment. A bit up here. Like that bit there. But that could be because there's a bit of Frisket film there, because it does, I've noticed when I go in on the Frisket film, the paint doesn't, it sort of glides and then sits weird. So that's probably just Frisket film there. Hopefully. If not, then I'm like, eh. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that bit. So I'm now gonna just turn the book around again. I should have. Ah! my paintbrush just went flying. I only had a bit of white paint on, but the funny thing is, it's landed in a carrier bag that I've just had on my floor with my tubes of paint in. So it's like not gone on anything. Like, how lucky is that? Oh, I do need to move my water back to the other side. Let me pause again, else I'm gonna just be wobbling everywhere. Right, we're back round the right way again, thankfully. So I'll just get on with the bottom part. And now looking at it the right way, there's parts that I don't like. Do you ever do that? See it from a different angle and you're like, ooh. Right, some of these bits don't have enough paint on. Oh no, I'm going to leave it though, because I'll end up ruining it. It's just this one here. Like I said, that's the part of him. But I feel like it was too, it ended too chunky. As well as that bit. Again, I know that's part of him there. I feel like it doesn't flow. Just do a bigger white bit there. Ah, that's him as well. That is why it's all landing weird. If I put a white bit here, and it's like it goes. Hopefully that'll look okay. Because a lot of that, like I said, it's got him with a frisket film on. And it's not. I think I've done some of the lines too straight diagonal, whereas they should have been curving a bit. That up there looks far too white, like just solid white. Alright, now I'm gonna, it's this bit here. It's like, needs something. Why isn't it splooshing? Alright, I'm stopping at that. I'm stopping at that. I say that and then I need to neaten the edge up. See, this is where I'm going to make it look awful. Just breathe. Yeah, I think I need practice with this sort of thing because this is harder than it looks. Nose is starting to like it again. I think it was just when I flipped that book around and like the angle I was looking at it completely changed. That's why they say when you're doing anything like art related, step back and take a look at it, because sometimes if you're so focused on it close up, you can overwork it when it doesn't need it, and you can notice things that look a bit off. That's why you need breaks. Well, I need breaks so I can look at things. Oof. Right, I think that's enough. Why I say that, but then this has dried quite not as white as I would hoped, so I'm gonna add a bit more in here. Right, now I am going to add a bit of the metallic in that background. Scary. Whew. But like, I think it needs to be done. So you might not even be able to see it, because I am just going to be doing little lines of it. I don't know if the camera will pick it up better than I'm seeing it, or I will see it better than you're seeing it. But what I'm going to do is put the green metallic in the parts that look a bit greener, and then the silver metallic in the lighter parts. Can I see it on there? Oh, I can see some of it, like these ones that I've just done, because it's, oh, there you go. So I just lines of it, just to add a bit of something. Some of it up. That bit will go over him. So and we've got a slightly green bit up here. I don't want to put my hand in that because I don't know if it's fully dry yet or not. And then a little bit down here. Alright, and now I'm going to get the silver and just do the same thing in these other parts. Oh, that was a lot. I honestly thought I'd be doing more metallic than this, so I put quite a lot of paint on my palette. So I think I'm definitely going to have to pick a few pages to add backgrounds to after I finish painting this. Obviously I'm not going to film those because they will probably just be like solid colour backgrounds. don't think I'll do anything fancy with them. Like, well, I say this, but I don't consider this fancy because I've not gone too far with it. Gyarados. Like I said, I can't tell up here which parts have that frisket film on anymore. That's okay, it'll work out. Let's have a look at that on camera. Oh, I haven't done any in here. That would have been awkward. Last bit. Oh, that's where the Gyarados tail is. That's why I didn't add anything there. Right, that I said I'll do, and then I feel like there's a gap there. Right, so yeah, that'll do now. Although I feel like there's a gap here, so I'm going to put a bit of that green one there, or the tealy type colour. It was here, wasn't it? Oh, I've still missed it, right? Yeah. It's hard to tell because when I sit down to colour it, or paint it, I can't see the shine so well. Right, that'll do. I think that's decent enough, don't you? I'm happy with it anyway, so I'm going to call that background done. I'm going to pause it a minute while I remove the frisket film so I can then show you what it's looking like. Right, so I've peeled it off, and I noticed down here it looked a bit odd, so I've added a bit more wave on the tail area, just so it's like, I don't know, it definitely looks better now than what it did. I probably should have filmed that. Too late now, sorry about that. No, I just saw it and had to just quickly do it, so I quite like that now. I completely forgot this part of the tail was there. So yeah, I was like, why is this peeling off? And then I was like, oh, it's one of the, I don't know if you could call them spines or what. But yeah, I was really glad these came off, like the whisker part. Like I said, I don't know what the terms for these parts are, but like I thought that was gonna just like rip off, but it was fine. So I'm happy with that in this book. So all that's left to do now is colour the Gyarados, which I will do with pencils. I am going to stop this now and I'll come back to it well, when I've decided what pencils to use and what colours to use. So it could be later today, it might be tomorrow, but will be either today or tomorrow that I come back to finish this, because I want it done, quite honestly. I've had fun, but that wave and the thinking process on this has taken far too long. But I'm going to now go off and use up some of these paints somewhere, hopefully. So, well, it will only be a second for you anyway, but I'll be back. Right, so I am back again, and yeah, it may have been about 5 days since I was just here last. Yeah, certain things happen, like I didn't want to carry on with this page at the time, so I coloured something else, and then a night that I was going to be colouring, people had fireworks going off. Yeah, I thought fireworks were over, but apparently not, so people were still doing them that night, and I thought, well, I don't really want to have that in the background, so I just coloured something else that day as well. And then yeah, I've been at work, and then it's today all of a sudden. And yes, but I feel like I don't think it's going to take me too long to actually colour him in. I'm just going to pause it while I get my pencils out. Why I didn't do this first, I don't know, but I'm going to be using the brutfuner square pencils because I already have them nearby from what I was colouring before, and I was like, these are really nice to colour with, why don't I use them on this page as well? So that's what I'm going to do. So just give me a moment. Okay, so I have picked out my brutfuner square pencils, and what I have noticed is my trusty Tesco sharpener is able to also sharpen these square barrels, which is nice because I tried them in my Standum, you know, like 2-hole, you get a small hole and a large hole sharpener, and in those I could only do it in the larger hole, and it was getting like a really short sort of point on it, which I was like, it's wasting all the rest of the pencil to me. So I'm glad these also fit inside that sharpener, and I'm just going to get started. I'm going to start on the underbelly parts, which I'm going to be using these colours. They are 69 and 92, if that wants to pick that up. They are numbered. I'm guessing that these are the names, but that is in Chinese, I believe, and yeah, I cannot read that, unfortunately. And yeah, so I will just show you the Gyarados again, so you can see sort of what I'll be going for colour wise. I am going to be following the cards. I'll just get to it. It seems pretty straightforward. So I'm going to start off by just giving it a light layer of this one, and this is very light, so I'm not sure if you're going to pick it up or not. Hopefully you will. But these parts at the side here are also this colour. I find these pencils, like, they're really smooth. They're really quite nice to colour with, but I haven't used them that much. I say that and then my black's already down here because I use black and white on every page, whereas other colours I'm just using them as I need them. So I doubt it will be too much longer before they're gone, and I'll have to use my polychromos again, black and white, for these as well. I tend to just buy a couple at a time for the black and white polychromos. If I go into a Hobbycraft and they have some in stock, then I will buy one or two. Because like I said, I use them on every picture. And although the polychromos do last longer, I find, than other brands, I still use them quite a lot. Right, let me see, is there any other place that needs a yellow? Oh, around the mouth area. So this part here. I didn't realise that was that colour. I believe that's it. Let me have a look on another one, because I can't see the tail on that one. The only one I can see the tail on is this one, and that shows it as that, like a bluish white colour, the same as those parts. So, but in all the other cards, these parts are like white and grey, so that's probably what I'll go with that, because this is a completely different style of card, like illustration. And I just realised I haven't got the colours out for the inside of the mouth yet, but I will leave that for now. So I'm just going to put the shadows where I want them. I'm not going to go off the shadows fully in the card, because it's obviously a different image, but I believe some similarities will be there. So it will soon, no doubt, be December starting. Oh my gosh, like how fast has this month gone? I mean, we're halfway through it already, and I've only put out like 2 videos. I should be, really, because I sort of missed a week because I've been filming this one for so long. Yeah, this will be the 3rd video, I think, but I'm not like counting videos, but like at the same time I don't want to do less and less. I want to sort of be a little bit consistent. So I'm not going to put huge amounts of detail into this or any sort of light source kind of thing. I'm just going with what I want to be happy colouring it. But yeah, December's like right around the corner, and then it'll be Christmas before you know it, and then New Year, and then everybody will be like, well, where's this year gone? Because seriously, where has it all gone? That bit might end up being a little bit more shadowed. These bits will be a bit more shadows because they're more underneath. So I might have to bring another colour in. I have a grey to the side of me, so I might just add a bit of that. Probably changed the colour of my nails like 3 times or more whilst making this video. One of the times, to be fair, I only had the colour on for a day because I just wanted to change it. That's why I don't use like the expensive stuff, because when you get like the really good quality stuff and everything, it can last like a week or even more, like the one colour on your nails. And I don't know, I just like to change it. Sometimes I don't want any colour on there at all, and then other times I'll want it a certain colour, but then a day later I want it changed. Or sometimes it just gets chipped, so I want to change it. But yeah, multiple reasons, but yeah, I've only been filming this video for like 1.5 weeks, but I changed it 3 times. I think it's 3 times. I can't even remember anymore. I think I even had another colour in between that didn't enter any videos. That looks really weird around his mouth at the moment. Let me just take a look. Yeah, I'm going to take this grey and add it in places, because I think it's a bit too yellow in some places. I don't know if this is the right grey to be using, but I'm using it anyway. This is number 74. And that's just gonna again go wherever I want it to. Anywhere that I think needs to be a bit more shadowed. I say I'm not going to do it complicated, and then you know me by now surely. I might not have made many videos, but you know I don't know how to stop when it comes to whether I'm going to add shading or not. You should just know I'm going to add shading. Unless I've specifically set myself the challenge to do like a simple colour challenge. Because I've done one of those before, but not on video. That was in a Colour in Heaven challenge. Where you could only like straight colour, you weren't allowed to use highlights or shadows. It was the fastest page I've ever coloured, and I still haven't added any more shading to it or anything like that. I've stuck to it and left it like that, and like, in a way I'm proud of that. Why is that so blue there? Why? Why is that bit gone blue? I'm confused. All the rest of it's grey. I'm going to have to... I have a rubber here, so I'm just going to put that out a bit, and then well, if it'll let me. That was strange. There must have been like a fleck of blue in the grey. I mean, it is like a classed as a blue-grey. That shouldn't have been that blue. I'll put a bit of white on that, see if I can... It's not going to matter at the end anyway, because the rest of him's going to be like pretty bright blue. So it'll probably just sort of make it blend in at the end. But for now, I don't want it. I don't want it like that. That was random. I hope there's no more in it. But imagine if it was an area that I wasn't using blue at all on this page, and I just ended up with a blue splodge. I'm looking forward to Christmas. I mean, I always do. It's family time, isn't it? I already have an advent calendar. My mum always buys me one. It doesn't matter how old I am. And this year she got me a Kinder Bueno one, which I'm looking forward to. But I already have it and it's just staring at me. So, but I've got like half a month left before I can open door number 1. But you know, when you start to crave chocolate and you see it but you can't have it, and you don't have any more chocolate in the house. Yeah, I had one of those days the other day, and then the next day when I went to the shop I was like, I'm gonna have to buy some chocolate because else I'm going to end up eating that. And then I ended up buying, I didn't know they sold them like this. It comes in like a share bag, a mixture of like all the different like dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate version of the Terry's chocolate orange segments. And so I picked up a bag of those, and yeah, I just keep some in my room so I don't open that. I'm going to be taking some of those to work with me as well, because we have a sweet box that we take it in turns to sort of put sweets in that are wrapped, like no loose sweets or anything like that. Normally it's like malwams or the hard boiled sweets and stuff like that, but it just helps us, give us a little bit of energy and a bit of a treat throughout the day, really. But yeah, so because we're going to be busy, I thought I would buy the good stuff. You know, we need it. We need it. We definitely deserve it. But yeah, I'm taking it in next week because I got it this week, but the day I bought it, I never thought, do people actually like orange chocolate? Like, because nobody had bought those in before. So I went to work and I asked, do people like orange chocolate? And then they were like, that's a silly question, who doesn't? And then one lady doesn't like it. So I might take something else in as well as that, because I can't leave her out. That's not right. But yeah, most people like it. But then the next day, like, some of the people aren't working for the rest of the week. So I thought, I'm not going to bring it in then, because then they won't get any. So I'm taking it in next week. And then everybody that likes it can have some. I'm just blending this with a white now. But yeah, everyone where I work is like really friendly. I've not come across anyone that's like horrible or anything, so I'm really lucky to work there, really. I'm doing far more on this than what I was planning to. I was just going to be like the yellow and the deeper yellow and done. But yeah, I can't stop myself, can I? Hopefully these colours will look okay with the blues I've chose. Should be fine because I'm going off of the sort of colours on the card and they look great together. I have a song stuck in my head and I have no idea what the song is. But I'm also not going to hum it or anything because nobody needs to hear my out of tuneness. Is that even a word? Probably not. But yeah, nope. I think I've said it before, but no singing from me. Right, so this is the only bit that is like dark blue. It's got light from the fire. I haven't got no fire, so I should be okay with that. So I'm going to do that bit dark blue first. Yes. Which I have number 88. So I'm going to do a light layer of this first. Oh, that's actually quite bright. I'm going to have to get the black in on this because I think this is the deepest blue that I could see in the set. I'll have a look again on my chart in a minute, but I think this was the deepest looking one. But it's quite bright. It's a very nice blue, but not what I thought it was going to be. Although, yeah, it does look quite bright. Oh, I have some blues over here that I didn't see. Number 89. I'm going to get number 89 out. That's the only problem when they have numbers on there. It could be quite hard to find. I have them in the order of the chart, but it doesn't always help. Right. 89, yep, let me sharpen that a moment. Right, let's see if this works better. Oh yeah, much better. How did I not see that before? It baffles me. I know I wear glasses, but yeah, wow. That is quite a nice colour to go with it though, that other pencil. What number was it? 88. Oh, 88 and 89 in completely different parts of the tin for these pencils. It's a bit strange. I would have thought they would have put them like next to each other, or at least near each other. Oh wow. Or did I tear the paper a bit there? Must have been from that Frisket film, or maybe my knife, because yeah, my knife skills aren't very good. But that's okay, I've coloured over it. All is good. Right, I'm going to put a bit of black in. Ooh, yeah, it's nice. Just in these bits. That black layered on really nicely actually. Which again, for like a budget pencil, they do pretty good things. I think I bought them for like They were either £20 or £22. It was a while ago now, and I can't quite remember, but it was somewhere around that mark. And yeah, I saw loads of people using them at the time, but it was how many different people were using them and they were still working for the way that they colour that made me consider purchasing them. Because sometimes if you see some people colouring with them and they don't colour like the way you like use pencils, then sometimes you're like, they're not right for me. But because I saw so many people using these, I got a broad range of what's it called, examples to go off of, which was really nice. I like that. Now that I got like the colour that I wanted. Right, should I do the white bits first or the blue bits first? I'm going to do the white bits first. Just get it out of the way. And I say white, and I'm going to pick up this grey again, which was number 74. I am going to take a sip of my drink. Yeah, I got these from Aldi. They taste like Lilt. But Vive Tropical Blast. It's like every time you go in Aldi, they seem to have different drinks. Or is that just me? Like they'll have a certain amount of ones they always sell, and then you'll just see some random ones there and you're like, do they always sell these? It's like that middle aisle is hit and miss though, isn't it? Right, just sharpening these. I have some very random chat going on, don't I? Right, so the grey is going to be on these fin, do you call them fins or spines? And the inner ear parts and the eye area. And also that tail bit that I saw on the other card. I'm just going to go in wherever I want. That part of that, yes, it will be. So I will add a little bit of black in as well, but mostly grey and white. It might not look much now, but once you add the blue in, you'll be happy to have these lighter areas. Maybe I should have done all the blue first. Oh well. What colour are the teeth? Are they white? Yes. So I do the teeth. Because some like monsters and stuff, they have like the yellow teeth or black teeth or red teeth. So I didn't want to just assume they were white without checking. Right, these. Quite sure how to shade these. I'm just going with it. I haven't picked a specific light source, but I've sort of done it like it's this way. Right. Yeah, so this bit isn't going to be completely noticeable anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much. And then this tail bit, just want to add a little bit of detail in that. And now I'm going to get the black and very lightly in those darker parts. I don't want to do too much. It is hard though. This is a really decent black if I'm honest. It's working really nicely on this paper anyway. Let me just take a quick look at that. I'm going to follow that on this because I'm a bit stuck for that bit. Which again is nice to have a reference image to follow sometimes, isn't it? Don't really know for that bit. I can just go like that. That's fine. I've started seeing what people have put in their Christmas trees and decorations up already. In this family we do wait till December, most of the time anyway. I'll never say never, because I think last year or the year before, I think it went up at the end of November. But yeah, I like seeing people putting their decorations up. I'm not someone who goes, oh, you can't put it up yet, blah de blah de blah. I mean, I do think December's the right time, but I'm not going to stop other people celebrating earlier. Why would I? But I was on the bus today actually, and I saw this like huge, and I mean huge, inflatable Santa. Oh gosh, it was huge. It was good. It was good, but it was huge. So I'm just going to blend that now together with the white. So that black will disappear and turn into a grey in most parts. I'm just going to keep it black at the very sort of edge of where I've done it. Plus in some places I just wanted a darker grey and couldn't be bothered to get another darker grey out, because I knew that I would be blending with a white. Also, Christmas shopping. I've done some already. I don't know if I've already mentioned in this video. I don't really remember what I've talked about, to be honest. Like I said, I've been filming this over a week and a half. But yeah, Christmas shopping is like in full swing now. I do have a day that I'm going like proper Christmas shopping. But yeah, that's not until December. But I've already got, like, some people just want a gift card or something like that. So I've already got those because I don't need to be somewhere specific to get those. Whereas some people's presents I have to be where I'm going because that's the only place they sell them. Which is fine by me because at least I know they want it. And then other people are just like, I don't know what I want. You don't have to get me anything. I honestly hate that answer, you don't have to get me anything. Because I know full well that they'll be getting me something. And then I just feel bad if you don't return like a gift. They're giving you a gift, you should be giving them a gift. Speaking of that, that's what I don't understand as well. When people go on about like their wedding anniversaries and they say what their husbands have got them for their wedding anniversary, and then you ask what did you get them, and they say they didn't get them anything, and I'm like, it's their wedding anniversary as well. Why didn't you get them anything? I don't get that. I really don't. It's a partnership. I guess some people are just like that, I guess, but I would just feel like I was being ungrateful or something. And it's like I wouldn't be caring about them. I don't know. Not my relationship, I guess. Maybe that's the way they like things. Right, what colour is his eyes? Red. Okay, I don't have reds out at the moment, so I'll leave that for now. I'll just blend that bit. Didn't realise he had red eyes as well. I clearly didn't pay attention, did I? Alright, so now the main body. I'm just going to lightly go over with this blue. I think the rest of him is blue. Yeah, seems like it. So lightly, and then I'm actually going to use that blue again, which I said looked a bit bright, because I think it's fitting for his main body. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. I think each little segment that I've filmed, I've gone through them all already. I think they were at least 20 minutes long each one, and I think I have 4 or 5 little segments where I've just I've either stopped filming for a bit or I've paused it, but then I clicked stop instead of pause, so it's a different video. What is that? Was that part of that? I think it was, and I didn't add because it's like this bit, isn't it? Yeah, I'll just add a bit of that in. It'll be fine. Why not? Yeah, that seems right. I always miss a part, don't I? What was I just talking about? Nope. It's gone. It's really gone out of my brain. Wow. I'm too focused on this now. My brain's switched off. Oh dear. Bit uncomfortable sitting here today. Oh dear, my pencil just scratched that. Right, now in with the darker blues. Should I start with that? Yeah. I am just going to rest this here a moment. Just sort of see this. I say that and then you're probably gonna be like, but you're not following it. I just want a sort of rough idea. Obviously I've got to follow my own sort of shadows. That bit of the background didn't get done. In a couple of places got pulled up without me realising it. Won't stop me from using that Frisket film again though, because that worked perfectly for what I wanted it for. Do under there. I'm going to go in with the black or that other blue to deepen some of this up. But yeah, this is where it gets difficult. Obviously some, I think this one might be closer to this sort of thing anyway. So that bit probably should be dark. I just do it lightly and then I can sort of figure things out on my own, can't I? That bit I would have done dark anyway. I do have another blue here though that I'll be using. That's slightly like in between the light and this one. And I want to darken those bits up. This. That bit's gonna be dark. Again, like I said, I've got some of my shadows wanting to be in different places than the images, so I won't go fully off of those. Again, with these bits, I'm going to sort of follow the sort of shading that I've done on the yellow underbelly parts, because I feel like they would sort of match in a way. Right, I think I don't need these anymore. It's a good job I got a few different angles to work from, as I would have had to probably look up a reference online, which probably would have been just as quick, but yeah. I like the artwork on Pokemon cards, and sometimes when you see the Pokemon cards in a photo online, the colours are different. I don't want that. I still can't remember what I was talking about earlier. Like, my brain keeps going back to it. What was I thinking about? What was I talking about? Yeah, it's completely gone. I'll watch this video back and I'll be like, how did I forget that? So far, so good, I think. I need to take these off. My hands are gone warm. I have indentation marks now. They don't hurt, but they leave indentations. Right, I should I add the black first? Or this dark blue, should I add a bit of that? I feel like I don't want to add that, else it's going to turn into that colour again. Right, first the black in the deeper of areas. So under here I think needs to be darker. Not a little bit lighter, but not too much lighter. Nostrils. I will be going over with that other blue, so I'm not gonna lose all of it. Just sort of intensifies things, black does. I like it. So that bit needs some black on it. Again, this won't be as visible once I've blended my other colours in. I really should have picked a location for the light. Anybody else got this book? I don't think it's been out for too long. I haven't seen anybody else colouring in it. Although, to be fair, I haven't particularly looked for this yet. Normally I wait until after I've coloured a page before I do like a search, because I don't, for the very first page at least, I don't want to be like influenced in the way I colour it, or what's the word, see other people's and then find it daunting to colour it myself. I have a couple of books like that where I've seen other people's pages and they're absolutely stunning, and normally it's certain pages in the books, not the whole book, but yeah, the time some people must spend on their pages, or just the talent, because I know some of them don't take that long and they're like masterpiece. Right, I'm going to go in with this blue, which is number 35, and just go over this, blend it out, and hope for the best, as I always do. If I need to go in again with that, a bit of that other blue, that's fine. This one does seem a bit more dull. It just could be because I'm going over the black. A bit of paper that is really annoying me. And I think I am going to add some like white Posca. Dibs and dabs onto this, so that'll be nice. Not really done much to this nose, have I? might have a bit of a turquoisey colour to the highlighted areas. Still undecided because I got that turquoisey colour in the background. We will see. Oh, I didn't do that bit. I'm moving on too fast. Sometimes when everything's just sort of one colour, it's nice to add a little dash of something else. It can like separate parts and just make it look a bit more lively. That's probably not the right word to use there. I did contemplate whether or not to put some glitter on this page. I know I've got the shiny bits there, but I think I've decided against it at this very point in time anyway. I feel like it'd probably be too much. Maybe if it was something like a Jigglypuff or something, I would add a bit more sparkle. But then, I don't know why I'm not with him. I'm just assuming he's a dude. You know when you just Pokemon that's like Jigglypuff, you don't think of Jigglypuff as a man, as a male. And like a Chansey. A Mr. Mime. That's literally got Mr. in it. But sometimes I think that's a female character. Don't know why. Pikachu seems male to me. But then you have all these, like, you don't just have one Pikachu, so are there male and female Pikachus out there? I don't know. I'm probably sounding really stupid right now. It's probably been explained in somewhere or other. I know that you can get male and male and female, like you got the Nidoran Pokemon, which they're different colours, aren't they? And then one turns into a Nidoking eventually, and one's a Nidoqueen. So that one's like self-explanatory, but every other Pokemon I think is just there. So I don't know. Why am I having this conversation is even more peculiar. Right, I'm gonna look for like a greeny sort of blue. Let's get this out. Ooh, number 57. I think I want a bit of that in. Let's find that. Ooh, this is a nice colour, just a little bit in those areas. Oh yeah, I like that. Sort of, you see how it just adds a little something. Just a little bit of that in. And then I'll just get the white on it to blend, blend, blend. Yeah, I like that. I think that was a good choice. I'm not being super particular with this one though, just add a dash of it in those lighter areas. Kind of ties it in with that yellow as well on the underbelly. What do you think? This was a good idea or not? Would you have added the green? It's like a mint, a light pale minty green. Alright, now my white. That yellow around the mouth looks really weird, but I think it's because I haven't coloured the inside of the mouth yet. Obviously this isn't going to be perfect, I'm not a Pokemon artist. I do like how this has turned out. I will say though that because this is a Pokemon book, it's probably all going to end up be coloured with their right, like, appropriate colours, which will take that hard colour thinking out of the equation, won't it? Which is nice sometimes, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I see a page and I really want to colour it, but then I can't think of what colours to use and then I don't colour it. I'm sorry if I'm pressing quite hard, so I don't know if oh yeah, it is shaking a bit. I'll try and be softer. Sometimes I forget about that because the camera arm is attached to the table. If I shake the table, obviously the arm's going to shake as well. Right, that's that. So now I need the reds for the eyes and the mouth. Just going to look at this one because I can see the tongue. I know this has a different sort of style on the tongue, but I think number 7 is definitely got to be in there somewhere. I'm going to have 31 for some of the dark parts, and then maybe 18. 7, 31 and 18. I can find those. They're really quite hard to find. Number 7. was there, and then we're only a few away from it. $31, that looks quite brown on there, and 18, that's further along. 18, which again doesn't look like it should be that one. It's okay, and then a pretty much red inside the eyes. Maybe number 8. I'll get that out. For the eyes, I'm just going to sharpen all these, so be a moment. I do want quite a point on a couple of these because it's only a small area, especially the eyes. This is the first time I've sharpened most of these pencils with a sharpener, so because of the square barrel, it kind of, the first sort of lot of sharpening makes it more round, if that makes sense. I don't know, that makes sense to me. I'm just going to also sharpen my black and white. Whereas that I've sharpened a lot with a sharpener, so when you're using it, it feels different. To start with, it has to take away that square sort of edge. Right, that should be enough. Let me move these out of the way. I'm trying to think, is this too pale? Or is it just me? I might have to add a bit more yellow into that. Right, so I am going to just go over the tongue with this. And the eyes. Yeah, I'm just going to go on the inside here as well. Even though that's not going to really be visible on those parts. Again, I think this card shows the inside of the mouth quite nicely. You'll see it's definitely different styles. Does it say? Yeah, different illustrators. That's what I love about Pokemon cards as well. Down here you have the illustrator's name, which I never knew that as a child when I was collecting these. Well, not these ones, these are new, but even the original Pokemon cards. Like, I don't know, I was probably about 16 before, no, even later than that probably. I think I was like an adult when I noticed the names, because nobody told me, and I think it's not really what you're looking at as a kid, is it? You're looking at the Pokemon. Whereas now as an adult, I can appreciate the artwork. I always enjoyed the artwork, but now it's like, it's different. Now I buy them more for the artwork because I don't battle with them or anything like that. These bits are going to be quite dark. But you'll notice I haven't coloured this bit at all because I just want it black. I'm going to deepen these up. And back of the tongue. Down here. Now this colour, that was quite brown, I'm going to blend the darker parts. It's like a red brown. I do like a red brown. And I'm going to get my actual reds. Seems like it needs more black in there. I do like it though, actually good. Oh gosh. Right, now the eyes. Get that. Pretty much just red eyes anyway. Need to this a moment. Just want to sort of neaten some edges up. Doesn't want to go over these pencils very well though, if I'm honest. Seems to be coming through now. Yeah, I just didn't like a few of these black lines. Did I just stick my hand in it? No, good. Huh. Try to avoid sticking my hand in Posca pen today, please. Yeah, you may not agree with this. This line here, I am gonna be going over a bit in a minute. I can't decide whether this was a good idea or a bad idea, but I'm going with it. Yeah. Trying not to stick my hand in. I'm going to do this bit in a minute. Maybe that's what I needed for these yellow parts. Please don't get hiccups. I hate it when you have one random hiccup and you have to wait to see if you get any more. And I always just hope that I don't, because honestly I hate hiccups. I don't think anybody likes them, but yeah. Should be doing that side, not the other side. probably thinking this was a completely unnecessary step. Maybe it is. I wanted to do it, so I'm doing it. Bits at the top should be dry enough to put my hand on, hopefully. I'm going to go over that bit actually. I feel like it's bringing this page to life a bit in places. I think that black line doesn't need to be there. I almost started humming then, that would have been bad. Ooh. Bit too much paint came out of the pen then. Gotta try not to lean on that. But still, I'm so used to leaning on the page. When I can't, it's very difficult. Down here first. Well, I don't have any Posca on my hand, so that's a good sign. Down here's a bit awkward. Like, which bit am I putting the white on? Any bit? That'll do. A few speckles. This is what I meant earlier by using the Posca pen. I like adding dots. Don't know, something about it's just fun. And I changed my mind, I'm not adding any more yellow to the underbelly. I am, however, going to go over that bit like I said I was going to. I just picked up the wrong blue. That's better. A little bit came off to see that black line again, that's fine. Just gonna blend that in because I didn't want that bit fully white, but I also didn't want it how it was. And don't think that needs white. I only just did those parts, so it just scratches off quite easily. It's nice. But I think that is done. What do you think? Bit of blue on that. Make the white line a bit less thick, I think. It's supposed to be a different colour anyway. Which is nice. Do you like that? Well, I like it. I hope you like it too. Let me just zoom out slightly. And I've realised recently, well literally today when I was watching a video, you can zoom in if you like, you know, zoom in on the screen on a YouTube video, which is really cool. Great new addition, I think. Let me just move the light. I got it on too bright or not. That'll do. Sometimes I forget when I turn my light on, it's better to adjust the lighting down a little bit, else it ends up too bright. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So hopefully I will be posting this probably tomorrow, because I'll have to add all the parts together and then uploading takes a little bit of time. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me colour this Gyarados page from the Pokemon colouring book. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, I'm not sure what my next video will be. I've got to choose what to colour next, really. I have finished a couple of pages, like I said, when I've not been filming this. So I do have, I think 6 pages, well now 7 pages complete for the month so far, which is quite good, well really good for me. Like I said, before I started filming for YouTube, I literally would colour maybe 3 or 4 pages a month. But yeah, YouTube is very motivational for me, it seems. And gosh, I really like that I added that green colour. I really do. But this light is really sort of like, that's how I'm seeing it, but then the light glares on it. But yeah, I do. I like his head. Is that a weird thing to say? Yes, no. And I didn't end up adding any more Posca in the background, like I was going to do little dots, because I thought it would take away from him. So yeah, thank you for joining me on my colouring quest. Until the next video, I hope you're all having a good November, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.